You ever fill up your truck, swipe the card, and think the pump was broken? You look at the total, you look at the gallons, and you swear the math doesn't add up. Ram promised their new Hurricane Inline 6 would be smarter than the old HEMI. Smaller displacement, twin turbos, fancy fuel mapping. They said you'd get V8 power with V6 economy. But in the real world, the numbers don't lie and the math will make you sick. Here's the dirty truth. On paper, the Hurricane looks like progress. 3.0 liters, inline 6, up to 540 horsepower depending on trim. More torque down low, better emissions compliance. The kind of engine Ram could wave around and say, "See? We're ready for the future." They told buyers it would beat the HEMI on fuel economy. They told regulators it would meet tough standards. They told truck owners they'd get the best of both worlds. But when the first wave of hurricanes hit the streets, owners started running the numbers. And those numbers are ugly. Let's start with the claims. Ram's marketing positioned the standard Hurricane as a 21 to 22 miles per gallon combined engine in the half-ton Ram. That's a solid bump over the HEMI, which struggled to break 17 miles per gallon in most trims. They said the high-output version would still pull mid to high teens while delivering way more grunt than the 5.7. Sounds good. But here's the problem. In real-world driving, owners are reporting 14 to 15 miles per gallon combined. That's not just missing the claim by a hair. That's worse than the outgoing V8 in many conditions. One owner log, 1,200 miles of mixed driving, carefully tracked, average 14.3 miles per gallon. Another with a high-output Hurricane pulling a light trailer, 9.8 miles per gallon. 9.8. That's not progress, that's regression. And it gets worse when you do the math on annual costs. Let's crunch it. Say you're driving 15,000 miles a year. If the Hurricane delivered its claimed 21 miles per gallon, you'd use about 714 gallons of fuel. At $3.80 a gallon, that's $2,713 per year. But at the real-world 15 miles per gallon owners are logging, that's 1,000 gallons a year. Cost, $3,800. That's a $1,100 penalty every single year. Keep the truck 5 years, you're out $5,500. Over 10 years, you're staring at $11,000 in extra fuel. Congratulations, you just bought yourself another used car in wasted fuel, all because the numbers Ram sold you don't survive contact with reality. Now, why is this happening? Why does the Hurricane guzzle gas like it's still a 6.4-liter HEMI when it's supposed to be smarter? The answer is in the boost. Turbos make great torque, but they're liars. They promise efficiency on paper, but the second you lean on them, the physics don't care about brochures. A turbocharged engine under load is just an air pump demanding fuel. Boost means pressure. Pressure means more oxygen in the cylinder. And more oxygen demands more fuel to keep the mixture balanced. So yeah, a Hurricane can cruise at 22 miles per gallon if you baby it on flat ground at 55. But the second you tow, haul, or accelerate like a normal truck owner, the turbos spool, and your MPG craters. This is why so many owners feel betrayed. They didn't buy a Hurricane to feather the throttle like they're hyper-miling a Prius. They bought it because Ram told them it would deliver V8 grunt with better economy. Instead, they're feeding it premium gas at nearly double the rate promised. And yes, premium. Ram's fine print recommends higher octane for full performance. That's another 40 to 60 cents a gallon. Do the math again. 1,000 gallons a year times 50 cents more is another $500 burned. Now, your annual penalty isn't $1,100, it's $1,600. Over a decade, $16,000. That's not just a little off. That's financial betrayal dressed up as technology. And we haven't even talked towing yet. Ram marketed the Hurricane as a towing beast. Inline 6, strong block, designed to handle boost under load. But the owners pulling 6,000 to 8,000 pounds are reporting single-digit miles per gallon. One guy towing a base boat across Tennessee, 8.6 miles per gallon. Another pulling a mid-sized camper, 7.9. These are diesel-like numbers for gas costs, except instead of diesel torque and range, you're stopping for fuel every 200 miles. That's not progress. That's a downgrade wrapped in a shiny spec sheet. Compare it to the old HEMI. Yes, the 5.7 wasn't efficient, but it was honest. If you got 15 miles per gallon, you knew that's what you'd see every week. Tow with it, maybe you drop to 11 or 12. Still livable. But with the Hurricane, you can see 22 miles per gallon one day, then 9 the next. Owners don't know what to expect, and that unpredictability makes it worse. At least the HEMI was consistently thirsty. The Hurricane is unpredictably thirsty, and that's worse for planning, worse for wallets, and worse for trust. Let's pull invoices. Real-world owners are sharing fuel receipts. One posted a month's worth, 1,248 miles, 87 gallons, $330 in gas. Another, 2,014 miles, 139 gallons, $542. Multiply that out, and you're looking at $3,600 to $4,000 annually. That's diesel territory without diesel range or resale strength. And here's the kicker. These trucks are still new. What happens when injectors start clogging, or turbos lose efficiency, or carbon builds up in those dual injection systems? If you think fuel economy is bad now, wait until you're a few years and 70,000 miles in. So why would Ram risk this? Why launch an engine with marketing promises that crumble under real-world use? The answer is regulatory pressure. They needed a smaller displacement engine with better lab test numbers. The Hurricane delivers in EPA cycles, but the EPA cycle doesn't replicate towing a trailer through the Rockies or hauling plywood every weekend. It simulates flat cruising, gentle acceleration, short bursts. In that world, the Hurricane shines. In the real world, owners pay the price. Ram gets to say they met targets, but it's you eating the bill. And here's the bigger betrayal. Ram killed the HEMI for this. They took away a legendary engine with a proven identity and replaced it with a high-strung, boost-dependent gamble. HEMI owners accepted lower miles per gallon in exchange for simplicity, sound, and reliability. Now you get the same miles per gallon, or worse, with complexity, premium fuel, and higher long-term risk. And the cost isn't just dollars, it's resale. Buyers read forums. They see complaints. A Hurricane-powered Ram with 80,000 miles and an MPG log of 14 is not holding value the way a HEMI truck did. So, what's the resolution? First, if you already own a Hurricane, log your miles per gallon. Track every gallon. Not just for your wallet, but for your leverage. If the gap between promised and real-world economy is big enough, you need receipts when you push back on Ram or even join class actions. Second, plan for fuel. Budget $1,500 more annually than Ram told you. If you don't, you'll be blindsided. Third, drive smart. Stay out of boost when you can. I know, it defeats the point of a 540 horsepower truck. But unless you like donating money to oil companies, learn how to keep the turbos asleep on long drives. Fourth, pressure Ram. File complaints. Share data. The more owners speak, the harder it is for them to hide behind EPA test cycles. If you're shopping, decide what war you want to fight. Do you want a HEMI with predictable thirst and proven resale? Do you want a Hurricane with unpredictable bills and shiny marketing? Or do you wait for Ram's next move? Maybe hybrid assist to mask the MPG crater? Or maybe a pivot back to something simpler after backlash? No choice is perfect, but at least now you know the stakes. The Hurricane isn't a breakthrough. It's a trap hidden behind pretty torquey curves and lab-tested efficiency. In reality, it's an engine that costs thousands more to feed, thousands more in premium, and leaves owners scratching their heads at pumps wondering how a brand new inline-six drinks like a big block from the 70s. So, next time you hear that tick of the pump shutting off at $120, remember, it's not broken. It's the math Ram didn't want you to do. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. If you own a Hurricane, drop your miles per gallon below. Is it 21 like Ram promised? Or is it 14 like so many owners are logging? The more receipts we stack, the clearer the picture gets. Ram exposed itself. The question now is, do truck owners let it slide? Or do we call it what it is? A betrayal with a dollar sign at the end.